Wow, that was quite the countdown. But we're here. I'm ready to do this again. Hi, I'm Jamie.
Hi, I'm Alicia.
Together we're RoyalWise. RoyalWise is computer software training and support specializing in QuickBooks Online, Microsoft Office, and all things Apple. Welcome to the Owl's Nest. We are live from the Owl's Nest. But we've got kind of big, exciting news is that we're going to be doing a series of these web shows, but not from our own Owl's Nest. We are getting ready to set up shop someplace else. Where are we going?
We are going to Scaling New Heights in Orlando, Florida.
Hey, Orlando.
Yeah. So it's the annual Scaling New Heights conference put on by the Woodard Alliance, and it's an amazing conference where we come together from all over the country and all over the world to learn about QuickBooks and to learn about accounting and how to build your firm and build your practice. And one of the things that's kind of interesting this year is that Intuit is not going to be representing. Instead, a whole lot of other accounting software packages are going to have booths there. Xero is going to be there. Sage is going to be there. The FreshBooks, I think, is going to be there. And it's really cool because, like I'm all QuickBooks 24/7, but I'm curious to know it's not the only fish in the sea. So let's go see what other apps are out there too.
There we go. And this year's theme is Thrive. How are you thriving? How can you thrive? So we're super excited to be there. And she didn't mention she's not actually normally a keynote speaker for this conference, but this year she's not. Therefore, we are going to be sponsors.
Yeah.
So we've got a vendor booth and we'll be sponsoring. And so we will be representing.
Yep. So
RoyalWise.
We're going to be in booth number 2, and it's not just going to be me, but Jamie's going to be there as well. So
I get to come.
You get to talk about Apple stuff while we're there.
Stuff.
Yeah. And so at the booth, we are going to be talking about all of our training offerings, how we can help you learn how to use QuickBooks, how we can help your firm and your team learn to use QuickBooks, and also how can we provide training to your clients? So if you've got clients who are just asking the same questions over and over again and it's not sinking in, maybe we can take some of that burden off your hands and team up with you and partner up with you.
Great. So we're going to go over all the different solutions and products that we provide that are going to help you with that. But before we go any farther, I'm going to hijack this a little bit.
Okay, go for it.
Because we actually have big Apple stuff happening.
Yay.
I mean, we're excited for the Scaling New Heights conference, but Apple just had the Worldwide Developers Conference for 2022 last week. And their keynote speech was last Monday, I believe, and a slew of announcements. And so some of them we expected and some of them we didn't. Of course, iOS 16 will be coming out this fall. Mac OS is coming out with their new version called Ventura. So everybody wants to know just what are they going to call it.
They also want to know how to pronounce it. Is it Ventura or Ventura?
Ventura. We'll call it whatever we want to.
Hopefully Matt Fulton's out there somewhere and he can set me straight on that.
iPad OS 16 is coming out, and also Watch OS 9 is coming out. But I'm not going to go over all the little details of all the little features, but I want to
just this giant list of little details.
I'm looking at my list of details. A couple of highlights that I want to talk about. First one is they announced one hardware thing. That is that the M2 chip is coming out. They have already got Apple's been making their own silicone called the M1 chip, the M1 Ultra, the M1 Pro. But their second generation is already done. They have the M2 chip ready to go. So this fall, they'll be relaunching the MacBook Air and the 13-inch MacBook Pro with the new M2 chip.
So my brand new laptop that I waited a year for is already almost obsolete?
Absolutely not, because you've got an M1 Pro chip, and then the one we got for Jeff has the M1 Ultra chip. Those are still above and beyond.
Okay.
But the M2, they say, is about 40% faster than the M1, and the M1 was twice as fast as the old Intel. So
wow,
we are moving into the future. Hey, we're living in the future.
I mean, just when we thought like the speeds couldn't go up the parabola any further, they're going straight up.
Well, but here's a couple of things too, especially the M2 MacBook Air doesn't have a fan in it, no cooling system. The M2 chip is so efficient with how it creates processing. And the memory is unified on the chip, so there's no passing data through the motherboard or the logic board to get it from memory and from the hard drive to the processor to the memory. That there's just no cooling. It doesn't need cooling, and so it doesn't heat up as much. There's not as much friction, all those sorts of things. And so
I don't have to blow up my laptop anymore to keep it cool.
On the new M2 chip.
On the new
MacBook
M2.
Air.
If I had one, I wouldn't have to blow on it anymore.
Whatever you want to say. Oh, goody. Okay, a couple other things that I just kind of want to mention. On the Apple Watch, of course, new watch faces are always happening. They introduced two cool things, sleep stages, where if you wear your watch at night, it'll actually track when you're in REM sleep and when you're in light sleep and when you're in. So they're actually going to be able to break it into sleep stages, and you can actually monitor your sleep behaviors. But then for me, I normally charge at night. So now if I'm going to wear my watch at night, when am I going to charge?
I get an alert that shows up on my watch around an hour before my scheduled bedtime that says time to charge your watch.
Oh,
yeah.
There we go. Very good. Afib history is coming. So if you have atrial fibrillation, it will actually like record your history and you can send that to your doctor so you can get some ideas on behavior. And a new medications app where you can log and track your medications and get pop-up notifications saying time to take this med, time to take that med.
That's handy.
And it will also be tracking cross drug interactions. And also including alcohol usage. And so once you put in your supplements and your prescription drugs, it'll say, hey, wait a minute, these two conflict and watch out for that. And if you drink alcohol, this is a bad thing. And so they're looking out for you. That's some pretty cool stuff. I really, really like that. iOS 16 for the iPhone, new lock screen. They're going to give you widgets. The lock screen on the iPhone is going to begin to look like the Apple Watch screen, with little widgets, and you can actually get information without unlocking your phone. And notifications are going to be more compact. And so that's going to be even live activities. You can actually look at real-time sports scores without unlocking your phone. So you can put a widget on for the basketball game and keep up with whether the Celtics or the Warriors are leading. So
I really like that because I know that I'm attached to my phone way more than I feel like I should be, but I'm always in there checking for information, status updates. And so if I don't have to go log into these little apps all the time, that'll probably save me 10 or 15 minutes every single day just by having it right there on my.
Yeah, another innovation that is worth mentioning is we have live text now where you can actually highlight, copy, and paste text out of images that's coming to videos. So we're going to have live text in video clips. And so if you have a video clip and there's some words in it or text in it, you can actually like highlight it, swipe it, highlight it, and copy and paste it right out of the video.
Oh, interesting.
That's a little wild there.
Yeah, I love doing that out of images because it means I can like take pictures of a sign or a document and then be able to pull the content.
Pull it out. And then the other one this is the one that made national news. I heard this on NPR. I heard it on the local radio. The Messages app is going to be implementing unsend. So you can unsend a text message if you didn't mean to send it. And you also can edit previous text messages, right? One of the problems, though, people are already asking is, well, what about the legitimacy of, a lot of text messaging ends up in court. People take their text history when they end up in court. What if somebody can go and implant a message that wasn't there before to make it look a certain way, right? So if you can
delete all their incriminating
evidence.
Exactly.
Delete their incriminating evidence.
The whole January 6th debacle wouldn't even be a thing because they would have just deleted all their messages.
Well, they weren't in messages doing that. They were on Periscope and other things. So it's not quite the same. But there are some privacy concerns, and that did hit kind of national news on like, this sounds like a great feature and we like it, except for how's it going to have legitimacy? Like what's the legal ramifications? And with that in mind, I want to mention something else Apple's doing that I'm really proud of, which is something called Safety Check. And this is basically something that allows you to control your privacy. The question comes down to, what if now we have family share? Now we have people sharing photos and videos and text messaging and sharing storage plans. Well, what if something goes wrong in the relationship? What if there's an abusive spouse or something and the other person needs to leave the relationship, but everything's tied up in the other person's credit cards and tied up in the shared family account? And how does somebody in an abusive relationship get away? And so they're creating something called Safety Check, where you're going to be able to go into settings and Safety Check and literally just say, reset all my permissions. I need to be an individual person, and I want you to just like set me away from everybody and let me be me. And a couple other different features that can pull back things out of shared with me, like things you've shared with people, so they don't have your photos or your videos because you've shared them with them. Pull them all back to you so that they don't have your information and your data.
Oh, that's great. I mean, there's been so much of a push towards sharing in the last 5 years that I guess nobody really thought about, like, well, what if I don't want to anymore?
Apple's been thinking about it.
That's good.
Apple has,
that's really good.
They study that human interaction, and
Yeah. So now we can share stuff, but we can also have autonomy as we need to.
Win it if we need it, right?
Right.
If things go bad and you need to figure out how to make a bad situation better, they're creating tools that give you that opportunity. Granted, I'm sure that can be taken advantage of in some other way, and we'll figure that out once it gets implemented.
Right. There's always something.
So anyway, with all of this stuff, the reports were kind of like, these operating systems are out now. They're not. They're out in beta for the testers. They will not be out in the wild for the public till the fall. Okay, so you're seeing articles about these features and about these operating systems. Those are people that are beta testing it. There will be a public beta test in July, so that people in the public can get it in July, but it will still be in beta. It will not be finalized. And so if you go beta, it's going to be buggy, and you're going to have to do bug reports and tell them what's wrong and how to fix it and all that.
Live testing.
But when fall comes, we'll see all these operating systems, and I will go deeper once I get them in my hands and learn of these features. I'll let you guys know what I think of them.
So there will be a what's new in
all of
OS
the
16
things
Ventura heading your way this fall.
iOS 16 and Mac OS Ventura.
Okay. Yes.
It's a lot to keep straight.
It is.
You need a professional, right?
That's why I have you.
Right? Exactly. Well, good. Let's swing back to the QuickBooks world. And what else? What else we have to share about that?
My books were finally published and available. So I finally got my own copies of them. I'll get there. So if you've been hearing about my QuickBooks Online Complete and Online Fundamentals book, these are now available to the public. They will be on Amazon eventually, but for right now, they're at questivaconsultants.com. And so if you are interested in learning QuickBooks Online, fundamentals is everything through basic workflows to reports. And then this big behemoth complete book also includes payroll, inventory, and projects. So I'm super excited. I've been working on this for over a year, and so they're finally published. And so those are going to be available at Scaling New Heights. And so anybody who is going to be at Scaling New Heights, or also, because me, I'm always like hyper creative and want to do interactivity and art and all those things. So you want to do that again, what you just did a few minutes ago?
I didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Where's yours? There they are. I have been hard at work designing my own swag for the conference, and so I have all of these tiny cute little resin owls, and let's get in the middle there, and so if you buy a book or sign up for a class or join our mentorship program and take a picture with me, or what else do we have? A couple different activities. You can pick out your own little Alfred, your own little Allie award.
Well, so let me say this right. So if you're coming to Scaling New Heights, just know, if you come and buy something from us, you will be put into a raffle.
I forgot that part.
If you take a selfie with us and you publish on the internet for us, you can get into the raffle. If you give us a testimonial, what else?
Well, hey, what's the
what are we raffling?
For? What's the raffle for, Jamie?
A brand new iPad. So we've got a brand new Wi-Fi only iPad in the box, and we will be raffling that off at the end of the conference. And so every time you interact with us, you're going to try to get one of them raffle tickets to get in for that. We'll also be giving away t-shirts and swag and
webcam covers
and probably some books here and there, depending on that. But if you do all of the things, if you buy something and do a testimonial, et cetera, then you get an Owlie award. You get
to pick your own
Owlies.
Yeah.
Alicia's Owlies. So he's our mascot. We call him Alfred. Alfred.
This guy right here.
Yeah. So come and hang out and let us know how you're doing at Scaling New Heights. Post about your experience, post about what you learned from us, from other people. We'd love to be interactive when the show comes.
And we will be doing these live from the Owl's Nest throughout the event. We're going to have special guests along the way. Joe Woodard himself is going to be a guest on Sunday afternoon.
Our first Owl's Nest from Orlando will be Sunday afternoon at 11 a.m.?
2 p.m. Pacific.
11 a.m. Eastern?
I think.
No, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific.
I'm getting the time zones backed up.
Where are we?
So I'm not even sure where we are anymore. I've been playing with time zones on my calendars. So Joe Woodard is going to be our guest on Sunday. And then Monday after breakfast, or after breakfast and after lunch on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we're going to have other special guests as well. Linda Artisani is going to be joining us. Mariette Martinez is going to be joining us. Kathy Grosskirth, Allison Ball, and Veronica Wasek are all scheduled to be on the show at different times. So we're going to be broadcasting at least twice a day throughout the conference. So stay tuned right here on this channel for our special guests.
Facebook, YouTube, anywhere. Just look for the Royal Wise. I mean, I don't know if it shows up on Twitter anymore, but
Yep, we're on Twitter.
Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Follow us. Yep. Come and join us in live from the Orlando Nest.
There you go.
Or something.
Something like that, yeah.
The Owls pool side.
You have to find a way to work pool in there.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
That was one of Kathy Grosskirth's things as a promo.
There we go.
Yep.
Roger that. Any other good news, or we got this straight for the day?
I think that's pretty good. Otherwise, we'll just overwhelm everybody.
No, I think they're fine.
You think they're good?
They're just sitting at their desk, relaxing. They're enjoying not having to do their own work for this whole 5 minutes while we talk.
5 minutes. We just did 15 minutes.
I'm not sure where we are right now. Anyway, heading to Orlando, excited for the conference. Follow us along and see how we do. We're going to have a super good time. And rumor is after the conference, we're going to sneak out and go to Universal Studios for a couple days because we've earned it. So
I'm actually going to take like an actual vacation.
We'll see if she follows through on that or not. I'm not really sure what to expect. Okay, with that, I'm Jamie.
I'm Alicia. And
this is live from the Owl's Nest. Thanks for coming, and we will
see you in class.
See you in class next time, everybody.